camera's rolling.
Whenever you're.
It's so hot. Should I just do the whole video like this? Hey guys, Joe here for another video. I'm just kind of pumping these out right now because we have some downtime. Next week's gonna be a lot busier for me, but I'm still trying to squeeze as many as I can and really just share pretty much everything I want to share, whether it's for you guys to see and take something out of it, which would be awesome. But if not, maybe for me to look back one day and just be like, hey, this is what you were going through, and this is how you overcame it, and then just kind of be a reminder. But I want to talk about making your life scalable. And this isn't just business. This is, I think, for anyone and everyone, I think it's so good to live a life that is scalable and to make decisions that are always scalable. This is what I mean by it. Even if you're working from a 9 to 5, I think there are decisions you can make that will make your life scalable. By scalable, I mean where it might not be worth your time, or something might not be worth a certain value currently, but in the future it's worth something so much greater that it's nearly impossible for anyone to catch up to, whether that be in experience, whether that be in passive income, whether that be in any other type of investment income, whatever it is. I want to share some examples of what I mean by this. Was one of the reasons I left medical school. One of the reasons I chose a life of business was I just needed to live a life that was scalable, where everything was scalable for me. So for me, a 9 to 5 job where I just get paid a certain salary for the rest of my life, and then when I retire, if I don't get like a retirement fund going, then I'm just out and I'm one and done. That kind of life did not appeal to me. That's not what I wanted to live. I wanted, even if my time is worth nothing now, negative now, or maybe even 50 cents an hour right now, if it means one day my time, my 1 hour could be worth 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever it is, and I have a shot at doing that, I'm gonna make that decision because it has a chance to grow, and it has a chance to become something so much bigger in the future. It's not just a steady line where you're stuck, or just a very slow incline where eventually it just levels out at the cap, which is what a 9 to 5 job does, and that's why I went away from medical school. But even if you're doing a 9 to 5 job, I think there's a lot of things that could be scalable. Are you growing your knowledge? Are you investing in, whether it be your 401k, your Roth, your or some kind of apartment or housing investment? Are you investing in stuff that will eventually pay back dividends in the future, or are you just living a life that is spend and done, and you make, you spend, and you're done, and you don't have anything? Or are you saving in a savings account that, or maybe it's not even in a savings account, or is your income just going to a checkings account and staying there? Because then you just have cash sitting there and it's not becoming anything. And to me, that kind of those decisions are what I mean by live a life that is scalable. If you have money just sitting, invest, and you ask, oh, what do I invest in? How am I supposed to figure this out? That's when you grow your knowledge. You do your research. You figure out what is the best investment plans for you. Do you want to buy a house and then rent it out so that you have passive rent income, so that you're growing home equity value? Or do you want to invest and be a VC, invest in small businesses that are trying to grow, or projects that you really believe in? Obviously there's a risk that you might lose it, but I think that's where you start off small, you try different things, and you really just kind of put your eggs in all different types of baskets, so that, and then see what hits. And when that hits, you could put a little more in, and then put a little more in, and then if something doesn't hit, take your money out of there and put a little more into the one that's working. So for example, I have this business. Obviously I'm doing it for scale, with the idea of scaling one day. Me hiring employees and trying to impart everything I know. I really don't want to hold back anything. My brother and I, our goal is to teach everything we know, so that we can step off and do something else and try to grow the business in another way and find creative ways to do that. But to do that, we have to have a working pipeline where everything is scaling correctly. I just started trying Robinhood, right? Which is, it's not day trading or anything like that, but it's, investing in stocks. This was just for me to figure out what stocks are, trying to find interest in it and trying to see if there's something that I can do and just learn more about it, so that even in one day if I have to have a conversation with somebody, I know at least some bit of it. So I do my research. I invested $1,000 into it like a month and a half ago. I just checked it today. I'm at 1,250. So I have, I made, 25% ROI, which is not bad, I would say, in stocks. I really didn't dabble in it too much, but I'm trying different things out and I'm making decisions that will scale in life. Now, am I like perfect and I could scale everything? No, obviously. I shared in my other video, one of the things I really like to do is I like to play games. When I think about what I'm doing with games right now, the reason I'm happy is because I like playing games, but the reason a second side of me isn't happy is I feel like I'm wasting my life away in doing that because it's just a hobby that won't result in anything. So then I start thinking, but even in that aspect, I'm always thinking, okay, can I take this thing that I really like to do as a pastime and turn it into a scalable thing? That's why I was thinking maybe I could start streaming. Maybe these are just maybes. Obviously, it might not happen. It probably won't anytime in the future, but I'm always thinking in a scaling way where I want to make every part of my life a scalable way and make decisions based on whether it scales or not. Especially in business, if it doesn't scale, it's not worth my time. If someone has a product for me to sell, but I ask them, can you source this again when it sells? And they say no, I just want to sell this item. I just say no, because it's not worth my time to put into something that's just one and done. That's like going backwards, going back to my eBay days where I was finding one used item, inspecting the hell out of it, taking pictures of it in all these angles, researching the price, writing the description, and then posting it. And then I sell one and I ship it, and all that work is down the drain. There's just nothing there. Versus now I take a photo, I put extra time into it, we put in extra effort into it, and then once we list it, we can always source it again and keep selling more and more. And those are what I mean by scalable. Then I have one product that's always making me money. Then I could look for a second product. I find the second product, do the same thing. Now I have two products always making me money. Then go for the third, fourth, and then sooner or later you'll be at 10, you'll be at 20, you'll be at 100, you'll be at 200 products that are constantly making money for you. So my brother and I are also starting to do a lot of research into housing. Real estate is something we are interested in. Property flipping, house flipping, apartment flipping, student housing flipping, anything like that, because once you buy it and you could either sell it if you need a quick flip, or you could keep it and take a mortgage out and you could start paying off from the rent you're collecting, and eventually once you pay off the mortgage, the rent you're collecting is just yours, plus the equity value of the property you own is in your pockets. We're not there yet. We're doing a lot of research. We're watching a lot of people on YouTube, reading up a lot. But again, we're studying so that one day when we decide to pull the trigger, we'll have enough research done so that we could just go in for the experience, get our feet wet, and really go for it and minimize our mistakes. Mistakes will always happen. Losses will always happen when you're making scaling decisions, because you might make a wrong decision somewhere. If your bank account, your income sits in your checkings account forever, you won't lose anything, that's for sure, other than maybe inflation value or whatnot, but that's so small right now compared to what you could actually be doing with it. So you won't lose anything versus investing, but you won't make anything either. And I think, to me, that's such a poor decision, where you should be, if you have something sitting in your account, you should be doing something with it. You should not be sitting on it. At least, worst case scenario, put it into your savings account so that you're at least accruing interest on it, so that you're making something, a very, very small amount, but it's growing. So that's what I want to share. Hopefully you're making scaling decisions in your life. If you do have a good example in your life of something you did to scale, I would love to hear it, because it might apply to me, and it might really give me an idea to better myself and to make better decisions in my life in terms of maybe I am not even thinking about places that I could scale, like let's say eating lunch or buying dinner or something like that. Maybe I could scale that some way too. I don't know, but I want to see and I want to hear if you guys are willing to share places in your life that you've scaled or that you've made scaling decisions so that you'll see the dividends pay off, whether it be in a year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 years, 30 years, whatever the length is. Because I just want to see if you guys are willing to share, and if you are, I'm so thankful because I want to read it, see if I could apply it to my life, and really just bounce ideas off of each other. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for commenting. If you really are enjoying my life story of how I'm growing, I would love a like and a subscribe. Just small plug, just to see if we could grow this channel, and I would appreciate any kind of support, and you guys know I do. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.